Hi guys, what's going on and welcome to Evotopia, this lush and pleasant little ground. So we're checking out a new game, new home, village, medieval home, something like that. Got a centre key for this, thought I'd check it out and actually, so far, it looks quite nice. I've only really dived into the tutorials so far, so I thought we'd bring you along and we can kind of all learn a little bit about this game together. So, villagers seem to arrive via boat, so you have to build yourself like a dock. Pressing the wrong button. So let's try and see if we can get this placed down here somewhere. It shouldn't require a road connection, should it? First? We have to build a bit of road first. And then maybe we can now place our dock down. Oh, I had the dock the wrong way around. That will be why. There we go. So we get our dock placed down there and we've got a little bit of a road. It seems to work a little bit like the old SimCity games where you have like zoning for different houses. So you have like different quality of house zoning, commercial zoning, agriculture zoning. And then as kind of the demand for different buildings and structures comes, you can then kind of, make use of that. Right, let's try and keep this vaguely straight little piece of road. We shall go American style building and build nice straight lines. So we might as well get some house zoning in, I suppose. Try and get that nice and level. Most of the stuff does thankfully have grid snapping, so that does make life easier when trying to get up against the edge of these roads. Okay, so we've got 6 houses mapped out, and I think we've got to build a water well. Otherwise, I guess everyone is going to be a little bit thirsty. And here we go, a boat has arrived. Should deposit us some villagers. I believe we also have the option to buy resources from the boat, because there's 8 different resource types in the game. So you can buy resources from the boat in different varying sort of qualities, which is kind of feeds into your stockpile. And obviously you can produce resources from your farm and stuff like that as well. And then each area has different levels of kind of desirability. So then I think as your attraction or desirability increases, then you get higher quality citizens. And of course you can tax them, etc, etc. I think we need a hostel. Yes, I'd forgotten about that. They did tell me that in the tutorial. Let's go there. So that seems to, it's like a bit of temporary accommodation. So when people kind of get off the boat, they've got somewhere to go to until they can actually build themselves the house. Because the houses aren't auto-built. They seem to build effectively as people arrive to build them, if that makes sense. I suppose we should also think about zoning out some commercial. We'd have a go at a bit of horizontal road building. A piece there. And a bit there. That was not as neat as I would have liked. That's going to trigger my OCD slightly. Okay, there we go. Got some people arriving. Let's place down a few commercial zones. Do they need water in commercial? I'm not entirely sure they do. Oh, someone's building a shop. And I suppose we might as well set out a farm as well, haven't we? Doink. Okay, farm is down. So some people are going to start to go to work at the farm. And we've got this on super fast forward mode. So each villager seems to have happiness, health, education and safety. Because I did notice some of the buildings. There's like a library, an educational building, a clinic for health, fire station. It's a sort of late medieval SimCity, really. It seems to be the closest comparison. We are set in, 1800, so a little bit post-medieval, more like a sort of, Napoleonic era. Okay, we've got a couple of commercial buildings, I think, going up there. We can see kind of any demands for zoning. I think all my houses have actually been built now. And we have a whopping 7 villagers. Evotopia is growing. What else do we need to build? Well, we need to keep building more houses before we can realistically start to level up any of the other buildings. I suppose we can start to do like a grid-style road system. Let's try and keep that level. And then we can perhaps put more housing here. Yeah, if we can put it that way around, that's better. Perfect. Perfect. One more. There we go. Okay, so we've got a bit more housing down. And perhaps we should buy some more of these resources here. Just taking up our money a little bit. But it means we've got clothing and fuel and stuff to keep everyone happy, because I think that is probably what determines the attraction level. Because we've now got 15 people into the village, which is kind of cool. Oh, there's more agriculture demand, is there? Is this farm full? Well, there's only 6. You can fit a few more people on the farm. Surely, people. Can we squeeze a road in here? Or is that too tight? No. Darn. Didn't plan that very well, did I? Let's get a road down there. Oh, we should probably put a road in here. All these roads are a bit expensive though, aren't they? Spending all my money on roads. There we go. Well, at least it nicely laps around. We can get a pair of farms perhaps in here. And then we might as well zone another one while we're here. There we go, look. So that gives us a nice bit of farm setup. A nice 8 capacity and a 7 capacity farm, which are mostly even. So we've got our agricultural district. We'll probably, when we get up to level 2, we could build something like a library in here or something. But we are probably going to run out of money. Yeah, our daily profit is minus 78. Not so good. Not so good. Let's stick it on to fast forward a little bit then now. There's obviously room in our hostel still. Yes, there is. Which is good. Have all our houses been built out? No, we've got more houses zoned out down there, haven't we? Yeah. And ultimately we will be able to fit in a few more down here as well. I suppose we might as well zone them out since they're here. Oh, it's looking quite nice. What a pleasant little community we're painting. So yeah, I haven't really played much of this game before, as I said. Still very much in early access. I think it's releasing some point in January 2022. Kind of cool for them to let me in. I think the biggest problem with games like this now, though, is that everything's going to end up getting compared to Manor-Lords. And I think Manor-Lords has the risk of blowing everything a little bit out of the water. And I think that's going to make it difficult for games like this to compete, because Manor-Lords is just going to be such on another level. I think when you compare this to something like Banished, some of the older SimCity games, something like Ostriv, the Ukrainian city builder, I think they're very comparable. I think it starts to stack up pretty well, but I think it's when you start to get into some of these, when you start to get to Manor-Lords, it starts to get much more difficult. I really wish I hadn't built a house there, because now I want to build a library, but it's going to be kind of in the bad zone of influence, isn't it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where to sneak it. I wonder if I can knock down these. Yes. Sorry. My bad. But, you know, make way for development. God, this costs 2,000. They don't rebuild. Unzone. What's that? Shift. Oh, wow. Did I just wipe out 2? My bad. Just that one. There we go. Oh, that was hard work. Okay, now we can build our library. So they should still be zoned, right? So yeah, people can rebuild there. There's not enough room to fit one in there. If we'd built the water well on the other side, there would have been, but we did not. And that should cover pretty much most of the houses. I think this is a commercial workshop. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Well, everyone can rebuild the houses as and when they're needed. The second farm seems to have come into life, which is good. We have... Wow, the financial situation is getting a little bit bleak. Maybe we... Can we raise taxes? Yes. Maybe can we put up the poor house tax a little bit? Let's tax the poor. Always the best way. And our daily profit is slightly less horrific, but still pretty bad. What's expensive? The dock is costing us 70 gold a turn. Jesus. We're not getting enough tax from... Oh, there's only one employee on the farm, I suppose, that's why. Okay, well, we need more villagers, basically, to turn up then, don't we? Our attraction has risen slightly. Village has educational coverage and job opportunities. Well, hey. Yeah, well, let's wait to see for the next boat. Here it comes. Hopefully it drops us off a few more villagers, which it does. We've got another 8 turning up now. Puts us to 31. Yeah, more houses starting to go up. So hopefully that should bring in a little bit more tax income, which it should do. And it'll hopefully mean more people start to work on some of these farms, which is also what we need, really. There we go, yeah, housing starting to go up. I like how all the houses are slightly different. That's kind of nice. Nice that there's a few house designs so they don't all just mirror one on each other. Graphically, it looks very slightly like... Well, it does look a bit like Banished, also a little bit like Foundation in terms of the building style, but then it's not really sort of so cartoony in the characters. It seems like actually each person is an individual person. They have their own age, date of birth, family members, wealth, gender. So they've got quite a lot of information about them. Although I don't know how relevant that actually is, how much you actually make use of any of that information really in the game. Because you're kind of at a higher level sort of building. But I suppose kind of useful to know. Could be useful. Hey, another load of villagers have turned up. I'm just trying to stabilise our declining financials. Can we take out a loan? I could even build a clinic, but that costs 100 upkeep a turn and a fire station. Well, I hope we don't have a fire. I assume everyone is covered by the water. Yes, just the well is well placed. But it looks like all the farms are coming online. Still not making a profit. Can we... Poor house tax 11 buildings. Do we have any more demand for house zoning? Well, we can squeeze one or two in here, can't we? Make this row a little bit longer. So it's definitely the suburbs over this side of the town. Oops. Oh, I've not got enough money. I cannot place any more. Okay, things are getting bad. We shouldn't have brought the library, maybe. It was too expensive. Really, I think we're supposed to be buying more resources as well. Can we sell anything? We have a lot of vegetables that we're producing. Can we sell you vegetables, please? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, that's not so good for us. We're really reasonably well stocked resource-wise, but financially we're crippled. We're making a whopping 4 gold profit a day, which is going to make things a little bit more difficult. Looks like these other houses are going up there now. The hostel's pretty full. Looks like everyone's waiting for a house, I suppose. Is our profit increasing? Okay, slightly now, up to 30 gold a day. There we go, our profit's coming in a little bit more. Starting to get decent stuff out of the... Maybe change some of these farm productions to a different style, because we've got quite a few vegetables. And we'll have grain out of here, so we're getting a bit of a mix of stuff. Because, can we see our resources? Yeah, so we're doing... Oh, farm 1. Oh, its quality seems to be increasing over time. So we're now getting pretty decent quality vegetables, which is always nice. Yeah, so we have a good chunk of vegetables. Grain we should be now starting to produce, which we are. And we're growing some spices here as well. Poor quality spices, mind you, but some spices nonetheless. I don't think anything else is being produced. I don't know if any of these workshops can be made to produce anything specific, or if they're more just generic sort of buildings. We've not really got any demand for any higher quality buildings, have we? Okay, let's go back on to fast forward. Is the hostel... The hostel's empty again, so we may be able to squeeze 1 or 2 more people into the village. Yeah, look, there is more demand starting to come in. We'll squeeze another little commercial zone here on the edge. At some point, our hostel will probably get full. And then we'll basically have to wait for the financial situation to improve, which it is. We are now plus 59 gold per day. We squeeze in another 2 houses on the end there. There we go. Yeah, there's certainly demand for housing is high. Yeah, we can actually see the demand for housing is getting a bit out of control. I want to try and keep them in range of this well, because if I have to build another well, then it's going to add quite a lot of cost. A lot of them are outside the range of the library though now. Probably can build ourselves another commercial if there's any requirement for it, though. Just on the edge here. Oh, no, there we go. Someone's already building it. And are these farms full yet? Getting closer to capacity. I suppose it depends where people want to work. It's just demand for housing that's getting out of control. But there we go. Our financials are looking a lot more stable now. So, let's try and level this up, this road up. Just somewhere a little bit more logical. Something like that. And then let's build down this backside then. Nice, like that. And then, well, let's check the water well zoning. That gives us quite a bit of room. We can certainly fit in some poor houses down here whilst still being within the zone of influence of the water well. Have we got enough money for this? Not really. Can we go slightly on fast forward so we can afford a bit more? There we go. I feel like I'm a social housing builder. We're just mass producing rows of housing. We've got a little space here. We may in the future be able to afford some more of these buildings. Something like a clinic, as it would be lovely to try and squeeze in. Or maybe even a fire station so everything doesn't burn down. Yeah, 3 villagers have arrived, so the hostel is pretty much full now. Let's continue to zone out this housing then. At some point we need to try and get our attractiveness up so that we can get a higher tier of housing out. Probably going to start to need to fit in another farm here as well shortly, aren't we? Oh dear, it's a demanding game. Let's set that down there then. Oh, needs a water well. Well, that was inevitable, I suppose, wasn't it? How much are they? 500 gold? What a rip-off. Our profits are starting to accelerate slightly, which is nice. We'll perhaps squeeze a water well in here, which should probably then still cover us. And it will add something, hopefully, to the village as well. Or is it too near the existing zone of influence? But if I put it there, it's going to stop me from building a farm neatly next to it, which is going to annoy me. Oh. Oh! Oh well. We'll have to place it like that. Well, that wasn't very level, was it? Come on, Evo. Try and get that slightly leveler. There we go. Buildings are on fire. Okay. That's not tremendously positive. Please don't spread. Fire! Fire! What are we supposed to do about this? Just hope it doesn't spread to another building. They're in range of a water well. We do not have a fire service. And nor can we afford a fire service. So I think they're just going to have to burn to death. We can try and knock the building down, I suppose. Can we do that? No. I think probably because it's on fire. Which is kind of understandable. There doesn't seem to be a great amount of panic from the populace, which is distressing. I assume at some point it's going to burn down. You would have thought their happiness would be relatively low. Oh, is it more on fire now? This is a rapidly deteriorating situation. Oh, no, they've put it out. Oh, the building is burnt down. Do we need to knock that down now? Yes. Okay, well, it should still be zoned, though, right? Yeah, it is. So someone else can rebuild. Just a bit unfortunate for the poor family that lived there, but hey-ho, what can you do? What can you do? Our profits are looking good, so if we get enough... Oh, it's just outside the water range. If we can get enough capital together, we should be able to build ourselves a fire station, which would be nice. There we go, look. Someone's rebuilding already. Knew it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, agriculture tax is certainly good, isn't it? Put that onto spices, I think. So they're producing decent quality spices. Decent quality spices there. Excellent quality grain. Ah, farms are absolutely flying away. So, building menu. We have enough money, so let's build ourselves a fire station. Well, it's got a good coverage. We cannot fit in the gap there. Or there. We can go there, but we'll be just slightly out of range. If we demolish that piece of road, do you think it would fit in? Oh god, more buildings are on fire. This is not a good time, really. Oh! My lack of city planning skills is really coming to become a problem for me. Could go down here. I suppose that would cover most buildings, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's go there, I think. We have a fire station! Alarm! Something's on fire. Oh, here we go. Look, the fire brigade is deploying. Okay, they're going to put the fire out. Nice. Well, they should hopefully stop it from burning down. One would hope. There we go. Building saved. Nice job. People must be pleased about that. Our attraction is slowly increasing, so the quality of goods that are arriving by ship should also be increasing. I don't know what our resource situation currently is. We still have a reasonable amount of clothing. Spices and everything, obviously, we're going through the roof because we're making them. I don't know if we've got any way of making any of these other types of buildings. I'm not sure. Demand for housing is increasing, unsurprisingly, yet again. I think we'll perhaps try and build out a little bit down this way, though, this time. So, one, we've got fire station coverage. Might as well build down there. Just building in some sort of vague attempt at a grid pattern. I don't know if it's going to be a particularly useful grid pattern, but there we go. Look, though, these houses are well placed in the event of a fire. It is not a particularly useful grid pattern. Should maybe build the houses first. That would have perhaps made more sense. They should be in range of the... No, they're not. God damn it. Well, we can now squeeze a water well in on the corner, I suppose. Did I see a... We'll have a nice little tree. Just to give a little bit of green space. Our income's still looking pretty good. I think we've got a nice little village going here now. We're Evotopia, level 3. We're getting a lot of stuff to start to unlock. Large clinics, large fire stations. We need to build a clinic actually as well, don't we, at some point? But again, we need more money for that, and our income doesn't really cover it. Would be nice at some point to have got on to sort of average quality housing to improve the sort of desirability, but unfortunately we're not really getting any sufficient average villager demand to make it really worthwhile. Although I suppose if we built ourselves a clinic, that may increase the demands of the quality of the villagers that we could be getting. Just waiting to see if this one comes through. Come on, give me more money. There we go. How big is the... Oh, it's quite a big... Oh, look, that would fit in there if that water well wasn't there. Let's... This is going to be temporarily risky. We're going to do that. We don't really have the financial stability for this, but... Yes! Come on, Evo! Voila! Now we just need a bit more money from the vast water crisis. Please pay your taxes, otherwise you cannot have a water well. Please pay your taxes, people. Thank you. Now we can squeeze a little water well out the back. And our water coverage should once again be good, which it is. Phew, crisis averted. And we now have a clinic right in the centre as well, which should actually cover quite a lot of people, if not almost everyone, apart from this poor person here who gets 0 medical coverage. Nice. I'm quite pleased with that. We should hopefully bump up our attraction a little bit as well, and now there's a slight chance of getting average villagers. Because largely of their health coverage, I think. We've just got to wait a little bit though for more money to come in. I think we shall probably end our little first episode on this video here. So yeah, interesting little game. I think it's very comparable to the old SimCity games, very comparable to something like Banished, Ostriv. It's that sort of style. I think it's probably going to struggle to come up against something like Manlords because the quality of Manlords is just going to really raise the bar. But Manlords is not yet out, and this is kind of a cool and interesting little game. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for lots more medieval content. Thanks for watching, guys. I shall see you all on the next one.